Hi Sagittarius, how are you? It's me, Lauren B. Welcome to the Untitled Tarot. As always, Saggy, readings are timeless, so whenever you get here is whenever you get here, and all 12 of the zodiac sign readings, they're all for you. So feel free to bop around outside your sun sign or your big three. I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot for you today. You have a strange energy. Let me explain this series of events that occurred for me. I had just done 4 of the weekly readings, and I thought, oh, cool, Lauren, like you did 4, you covered each of every element. And then you popped out of my little zodiac cup, and I realized that, in fact, I had not. I completely skipped the fire signs in the last 4 that I did. And so this thought came to my head that you missed something. You missed something somewhere along the line, like a full element of something. But in my mind, I was like, well, it's not a big deal. I'll just do a fire sign, like, right now. Like, Saggy, you're up. And so that was interesting. And then, excuse me, on your Shufflemancy, you had this song by Motion City Soundtrack called Everything Is All Right. Please tell me that you're all right. And I'm wondering if the elements that you're missing, right, that doesn't feel like you're missing it, it feels like it's fine, is a person. Saggy, I know we're in this shadow retrograde energy, but it is what it is. I'm just a vessel, so don't come for me. Try Jesus, don't try me. But I'm wondering if there's like this full element that you're missing that it's actually like a whole ass person. And they're like wondering, like, is everything all right? Like, I haven't heard from you, I haven't seen you. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that kind of energy. And then that song Ship to Wreck came on by Florence and the Machine. And this song came up in one of the other readings. But there's a different line that stuck out to me. She has this line in that song that goes, "What's with the long face? Do you want more?" And it's like this weird, like, sassy kind of energy that maybe someone's like pulling on your energy a little bit. I think it was Aquarius that had this, perhaps. I'm not sure. No, it was the last Leo reading. I think it was the last Leo reading. That maybe you feel someone's energy, feeling like they're in the 5 of Pentacles, like they got left behind, like you don't even remember them. It's like when you date someone and then it's like you forget about it. Like, oh, I forgot that I used to date that person. But they're still like thinking about it and they're like, hey, are you all right? Like, I haven't heard from you. Like, I haven't seen you. And you're like, what's your problem? Like, you want more? Like, you want more? And there's another line in that song that goes, don't let the curtain catch you because you've been here before, right? And it's that energy of don't get too close, like, don't push me too far, like, you remember what happened last time, like, I kicked you out on the curb, so, like, do you want more? Like, this is all I have to give you right now. It's interesting. It's really interesting. So let's pray, and then we'll start pulling out some cards for you, okay? Okay, Saggy. Father God, thank you for bringing me and my Sagittarians in today. I ask that you give me wisdom, clarity, and discernment to deliver these messages accurately for Sagittarius' highest of love, light, alignment, and assignment. We praise you, we love you, we thank you always. We give you all the glory and the honor for these messages. To the utmost high, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen, Sag. I'm done. Of course the Emperor pops out. Of course the Emperor pops out. 5 of Wands in reverse. I'm literally hearing, like, I don't compete, I complete. There is that kind of energy. There's 2 folds on here, though. Perhaps you're in a situation in the past, Sagittarius, where someone made you feel like an option. They made you feel like you had to compete for their attention. You had to, outrun the competition, and you weren't for that. So, in essence, they thought they were going to put you on the curb, but you actually put them on the curb by not competing in their decathlon of love and romance or something like this. This goes to apply to like a job as well. Sometimes employers can kind of put extra pressure on their employees, right, to kind of see who's going to step up to the plate and really inch out the and some employees will do that, right, very type A personalities, but some employees are just like, I'll just go work somewhere else. Like, it's not, you are not worth the stress. Like, there are a billion jobs out there. Like, this doesn't have to be the one for me. It is very much that energy. You feeling very much empowered in this Emperor energy that I don't have to compete. Like, I am an asset. Like, I do have value. I have things going on for myself. I have dreams and ambitions. Like, I'm not with the shit. There is something about that. But on the other side of it, there's also this energy of someone else with this everything is all right energy, feeling as though they shouldn't have to fight for your time. They shouldn't have to fight for your attention, right? Like it should just be given to them freely. Like someone feeling a little full of themselves, to be perfectly honest with you. Like I'm the emperor, like I have no competition. Like there's no one, there's not a better job than the one I can give you. Like there's not a better person to be with other than me. Like there is no competition. It's like it's a little obnoxious, honestly. It's coming off a little bit that way, but again, you also feel like the emperor. So it's like two emperors, like an unstoppable force and unmovable objects, like almost coming like head to head. There is something about that. It's like, I don't need you. Like, don't push me too far. And another energy's like, yeah, you do need me because no one else is able to do what I'm able to do. It really is. It's like, what do they call it? Like a battle of the titans? It's like a battle of the titans kind of energy. Woo. What's this? Magician in reverse. Tricky energy. Couple things. So the magician in reverse can be someone who's struggling with the ability to manifest things into the natural for themselves. Yes, however, it can also be a real trickster kind of energy as well. So this could be someone that with an overinflated ego is having a hard time manifesting options for themselves, manifesting balance, manifesting love, being careful how I say these things. I have this saying that goes, be careful when you play both ends against the middle that you don't end up playing yourself. And it seems to be that kind of energy, that someone might have played themselves out of all of their options. And so part of coming forward to you, like really confidently and like really sure of themselves, it's actually a little bit of a trick. Like, you need me, Sag. Like, of course, like I'm the one for you. Like, I'm the best option. Like, I'm the best employer. I'm the best employee. Like, it's putting on a little bit of that act because they actually know that they don't have a pot to piss in terms of business or pleasure, however that kind of comes through for you. With justice in reverse, that's an imbalance. That's an imbalance. Someone tried to play the system and they ended up playing themselves. I do see the Nine of Pentacles. Do my throat? I'm like, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, which talks a lot about instability and personal value. It feels a little bit like a coming to Jesus moment. Someone might have overestimated how much of an asset they were to a business or to a relationship or to a community, to someplace, to someone, and ended up screwing themselves out of a lot of other options that, in fact, perhaps they got put on the other side of the block and they were the one having to compete for a role somewhere or with someone and finding themselves beat out by other competition. And the Page of Swords, this is very much of having to go back to the drawing board, and this is like a little bit of like a tightrope, like walking a very fine line, and it's coming out right on top of this Magician in reverse. So it's like this idea of being clever, trying to find like a very clever way to still get what they want, and you know, there are all these light bulbs up here, but none of them are illuminated, so it's like still haven't quite found like the right idea. Still haven't found like the right idea. It's almost like a Ponzi scheme or like a get rich quick scheme, or it's that kind of energy. 10 of Wands in reverse, something to relieve them of their burdens, And you know, again, you as your own Titan, Sagittarius, like you've upgraded, and it feels like they're almost showing me like an escalator. It's like you've upgraded, but you're like on this upward trajectory of success and stability and all of these things. And it's the idea of them wanting to like catch a ride, but they know that they're not in your good graces anymore. And again, this is an interesting reading, and this might not apply to you, right? Or the energy could be flipped, vice versa. And you guys know I don't typically do these kind of readings, but it is coming out, so I do just have to speak it as I'm seeing it, right? But it's the idea of them really wanting to catch a ride on your way up. Maybe they had discounted you in the past, and now they see you doing a lot better. And so for old time's sake, or trying to pull on the sentimentality or the nostalgia, like the history that you guys have, right? Thinking as though there's still room for them, and feeling a little bit frustrated or disgruntled that now they're in a position where they have to compete for your time, for your energy, for your attention, perhaps with other people, perhaps you're with someone already, perhaps this is just with your job, your work, the things that you're building, the things that you're invested in. It doesn't feel like you have a lot of time to go around, and even if you do, it feels like you'd rather spend that time on yourself. You'd rather spend that time on yourself. It's like perhaps for a while you were really fighting that. Pour the energy back into yourself. Give yourself this self-love. You know, it's like all the very cliche, put it on a coffee mug type of stuff that people like me say. But it actually feels like you drank the Kool-Aid and you're really doing that now, and you're realizing how good it feels to only have to worry about yourself. Does that make sense? And that other people don't have as much power over you to affect your emotions, right? It's that kind of thing. It's like, you know, when someone does something shitty to you, or someone bothers you, or someone doesn't want to be with you, and next thing you know, like, your emotions are all over the place, and now you're feeling unmotivated, and you go into a depressive state, and you can't get your stuff done, and your energy's low, and it's not allowing other people to have that much access to your power to affect your own stability, your own alignment, and also your productivity. There's something about your productivity, because now they're showing me a conveyor belt. Four Swords in reverse. You rested. You recovered. Again, it's like you missed like and this is the thing. You missed a whole element, right? But it feels like it's fine. And I don't know. I feel as though whomever this is for you, employer, partner, friend, however this plays out for you, Saggy, that this person feels as though they are the missing element. They are the missing link for you. They are the key that you need. When in actuality, it's not. It's not. You didn't need that element. I didn't need to do the fire signs as one of the first 4 that I did. It in no way affected any of the readings. It in no way affects the schedule. It in no way affects anything. Like, it's fine. Like, you'll get to it when I get to it, right? And that is kind of the thing, because I feel like my head hurts, like right up here. It's like my head, I mean, it's allergy season, but it's just my head hurts. It's like this person's giving you a headache. They might actually be like debating you or trying to like give you a lot of advice, like almost like make themselves seem like an asset of sorts, right? They might kind of be coming out of the woodwork and inquiring about what it is you're doing and what you're up to and how your things are going, and be like, oh, well, you should do this and you should do that, and invaluable. They're trying to make themselves seem like an invaluable asset, right? Like, oh, I didn't know that this person was so knowledgeable and I needed so much of their help. Thank you so much for coming back during the shadow period of retrograde, right? And you're not having it, and you're a little bit like, no, I'm good. Like, I got it covered. Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm rested, I've rejuvenated, I've moved on past that situation. It's like, I honestly kind of forgot that was even a situation to begin with, which is real healing, right? You know, that song can come on the radio and I don't even think of you. Like, it's not a big deal, like, for me, right? It's that kind of thing. And meanwhile, they're trying to express to you, like, no, you missed, like, a big piece of the puzzle, and it's me. And you're like, nah, what's with the long face? Like, do you want more? Do you want more of my time? Do you want more of my attention? Because I don't have it for you, because I already have things structured. Feels like you already are in, like, a groove, right? They're playing that song. Get into the groove, yeah, you got to move. You got to show something to me. I don't know. They're playing me that song in my head. But it is a bit like that, right? Because the Four of Swords is rest, it's recuperation, especially in this deck with the little heart attached to it. It's, like, really, like, a lot of heart healing, and it feels like you did that. And that's part of this upgrade for you as well, is that you haven't been carrying around all of this baggage, so it made you light enough in order to ascend and upgrade in the way that you have, in the way that you are continuing to do it. And you also have the Nine of Cups in reverse as well, which talks about personal wish fulfillment. And I think a lot of this healing is for you realizing that sometimes it's good to not get what you want, because you actually do deserve better, and that actually wasn't going to be wish fulfillment for you. I also think this is you realizing from a higher perspective why certain things played out the way they did a little bit as well. Being like, oh no, like, obviously I needed to rest and I needed to heal from that, but I can see after the fact that that person would have weighed me down. That person did. I'm glad I'm not putting up with their shit 6 months later, a year later, 3 years later. It's that kind of thing. 8 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Communication. with the World in reverse, I feel like this is them, like, coming to you because there's something about these wands that feels almost like they're trying to, like, corral you, trying to, like, back you in a corner, like, no, just come get coffee with me, like, just let me talk to you. It's, like, a little bit like this, like, something's not complete. It's not complete. The wish fulfillment's not complete because we're not collaborating together, or we're not working together, or you're not in my life, or I'm not in your life, or what. It's, like, that kind of thing. It's, like, feels very corralling, right? It's like they're trying to back you into this, like, circle, trying to circle you, and I don't feel like you're having it. And that's part of the thing that's trying to give you, I feel like that might be the thing that's, like, they're just like a headache. Like, they're almost just like an annoyance at this point. It's like, I feel like there is a bit of a diplomatic, a very kind of professional energy of you trying to very kind of politely kind of just stave them off a little bit. But it does feel like they're pushing your buttons and they're pushing your boundaries a little bit. So I think this is where that sassy energy comes in of, like, do you want more? What do you, like, no, like, you can't have any more. This is the time, the attention. I have 15 minutes for you to speak your piece, and then I gotta go back to work. Like, I got shit to do. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for your shit. Like, I even feel myself, I'm like, rawr. And there is this idea that, it feels like, of all the fire signs, you harness your fire the best. But there is a balance in that, right? Like, sometimes people expect you to freak out and scream and yell, and then sometimes people expect you to be, like, really kind of quiet and, like, complacent and, like, really kind of easy does it, and you have to pop out, like, a little bit, right? That, you know, your level of intensity has to be matched to what is needed in that moment. Does that make sense? Queen of Swords. This feels like you are collecting your thoughts. Feels like you're collecting your thoughts, almost like when you know someone's pushing it and you know someone is getting a little out of pocket or they're overstepping your boundaries, but instead of lashing out, you're kind of like, like waiting for them to finish. This is very like, no, sure, I'm gonna wait. I'll wait for you to finish. Sure, but say what you gotta say. Say what you need to say, right? And it's like your sword. You're not wielding it. It's not like up in the air. It's not like this aggressive energy, right? It's like, okay, so you want more. Okay, so explain. Okay, tell me more about this. Yeah, it's like it's like you know your truth. It's like you're still sitting on your truth, but you're not wielding it yet. It's almost the idea of giving someone enough rope to, like, hang themselves with. That's what it feels like. And if you notice in this card, there is, like, a little cup. It's like an Ace of Cups, and it's, like, in a little bit of a prison. It's like, you know that there's no way this person's getting close enough to you to stick their dirty fingers in your Ace of Cups. But you're not saying it yet. You're almost, like, allowing them to put their foot in it. That's a little bit of how it feels. King of Pentacles. Ace of Cups in reverse. What did I say? Now the headache has moved from up here, and now it's moved around my ears. How interesting. It was right here at the beginning of your reading, and now it's gone around my ears. Like, now you're getting sick of hearing them. You're getting sick of hearing them. How fascinating. I hope after this reading it goes somewhere else. Huh. Saggy, you could be coming forward in this King of Pentacles energy as your own interpretation of your own masculine energy. It's almost like when you finally start to speak, right? Because the feminine energy is very passive. She receives all of the information. This is like, say what you gotta say, all right. And then when you move into your masculine energy to express yourself, there is a bit of, like, it's casual, right? With this wolf kind of representing, like, because wolves run in pact. And they're also, like, lone wolves, right? It really kind of indicating your independence and your commitment and promises that you've made to yourself to build things, right? King of Pentacles is also really reliable. It's really dependable, and it's really grounded. And he looks like he's kind of, like, giggling, right? Like, he's very casual, and he's kind of laughing about it. That might trigger this person. It's almost like when someone has, like, a bit of a fit, and you're just kind of like, you hear him out, and you go, okay, like, whatever you say, buddy, like, sure, yeah, like, okay, like, it's really not that big of a deal. It is a little bit like that. It does, perhaps it's, like, a little bit patronizing, but it's almost the idea of, like, You got yourself all kerfluffled, like, for no reason. Like, this is not, I don't even know why this is a problem for you. I don't even know why you're coming to me. Like, this is kind of silly. Like, this whole situation's, like, a little bit silly. Like, I made promises to myself a long time ago. Like, I was gonna go my own way, like a Fleetwood Mac song, and that's just fine by me. Like, there is something about that, and that might be kind of irritating or triggering to this person because they feel very intense, this very intense energy. But you're coming forward like, this is a fucking joke. Like, I know you're shitting me right now because this is a joke. Like, I don't take anything you're saying seriously. However, there's also feels like a competing masculine energy. It doesn't have to be a man. It could just be someone who harnesses masculine energy, but you might already have someone else on deck for you. I said it. Because there is also a part of this that could be a competing masculine energy that you may be relaying this information to. Like, can you believe this motherfucker came to me and tried to act some kind of way about whatever, and this masculine is kind of sitting back and kind of giggling, like feeling really secure, like, that guy's crazy, like, almost, it feels a little bit like that as well. And again, this is like very specific, so it might not be your story, so go watch your other placements, but and it could be both. Like, you could be kind of like giggling at this person, like, you got me all the way fucked up, like, this is some silly shit that you are bringing to my table right now, and then relaying this to another masculine energy that's kind of in the picture for you or coming into the picture, and this person feels like very confident and very casual, like, they don't feel like territorial or jealous. They're just like, that is some funny stuff, like, they must not know you at all, like, not the way I know you. Like, it's that kind of energy, which more or less throws them into the Four of Cups, right? Which is like feeling like emotionally discontented. And meanwhile, like, the divine's trying to help them out. They're trying to fill up this other Ace of Cups for them and set them off on like a new mission, like a new path, trying to kind of teach them some kind of soul lesson, right? But they're not happy about it. They're not happy about it. It's the idea of, that's so funny. They're telling me like a VHS tape. It's like them trying to kind of rewind the tape of like a VHS to kind of go back and make things the way they were, or like fix things or rectify some kind of situation. But the time they try and click play on it, you're already on Blu-ray discs. Like, you're already on streaming. It's that kind of thing. It's like they're trying to rewind like old technology, like the old version of you, the old way that you guys were, the old dynamic history. It's like trying to go back in history when in reality you're already in the future. Does that make sense? I hope that makes I hope that makes sense for you. So, Saggy, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna keep pulling cards for you and do an extended reading because this is getting pretty good and I'm nosy. We know this about me. So if you are leaving me here, thank you so much for joining us over here in the Honeycomb. I hope that this reading served you well. If you are going to join me for part 2 of your reading, you have a choice between Vimeo, which is kind of one and done, and Patreon, which is the membership, which gives you all of the extended readings and the Patreon family. I'm also going to link your May monthly reading in the description box for you as well, in case you're interested in your May monthly reading. And until I see you next time, Saggy, stay strong. You fight the good fight. You got a lot of good stuff coming for you. I love you. I love you. And you stay prayed up, and you stay blessed, and you stay sweet, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.